Welcome back, TCG Squad. Today, we're going to be looking at some of the rares from the previous set that I think you should probably keep your eye on, because this might actually help you get into some of the legendaries or rares of the new set. Because I think some of these might go up in price, or if you have any of the hyperspace or the hyperspace foil variants of them, it'll give you a lot more trade value so that you can finish out what you need for your next deck for Jump to Lightspeed. Let's get into it. First up, we're going to have Red 3. If you're looking right now at TCG Player, Red 3 is going for about, we're going to call it around $5. Again, Jump to Lightspeed is all about piloting and ships. So as we start seeing more of these decks come out, I think Red 3 is probably going to be one of the ships that people are going to want to try to get their hands on again, because it gives everything raid 1 for heroism players. So if like, I've seen Leia's popping up, so if you can get Leia to attack with 2 units plus the buff from Red 3, that's a very powerful combos. If you have the hyperspace version, this is probably going to be worth a little bit more. If you have the hyperspace foil, again, it's going to give you the most value so that you can trade into the other legendaries. For example, here's the Red 3 hyperspace. We see it's $15 right now. So if we look at the foil version, we're looking down here, the foil is $30. So imagine if you had a hyperspace foil Red 3 and you were missing maybe a Devastator, just a normal Devastator. You can use this card to help trade into that. So this is why you want to hang on to some of these cards and don't get rid of them, because they eventually become better in other sets and sometimes in other blocks altogether. Staying in Spark of Rebellion, we have Bodhi. Bodhi is going to be one of the double, if we have any kind of double cunning deck, potentially Han can run. If you really want to get those certain cards out of your opponent's hand, Bodhi is a great option to do that. Looking at the hyperspace version, he's going for about $4.50, and then going for the hyperspace foils around $20. So again, he's going to be a very good card to have. So you want to probably slot that into your trade binder so that you have it ready for one of your local peers that want to trade into this card. Now we're going to move into Shadows of Galaxy. This one card that is about to pop up is going to be the biggest card. This is going to be Triple Dark Raid. Honestly, Triple Dark Raid is so good right now. Obviously, you're playing vehicles. You have Django. He's gotten more powerful. We have a boatload more vehicles in the game now with all the ships and so forth. So Triple Dark Raid is actually becoming better in terms of costs than some of the legendaries, and it's just a powerful card. So if we look at Triple Dark Raid, right now on TCG Players running at $18, which is insane. If we go to the hyperspace version, the hyperspace version of Triple Dark Raid is $29.99. That is insane. If you have a hyperspace or a hyperspace foil Triple Dark Raid, you immediately going to slot that in your trade binder. Next up, we're talking about Bazine. We're still sticking in the Shadows of the Galaxy. Bazine right now is for normals running around $4 to $5, right? But she's a very powerful card, right? Because she allows you to look at your opponent's hand and discard one of those cards. So again, since we're talking about a lot of vehicles and a lot of pilots, this is a great way still to steal a card off your opponent's hand. I love Bazine. I played Bazine a lot with my Cat Bane deck. It's a great card. I still think this is going to be a very good card in this set, especially if you're running any kind of cunning. Next up, we have Kira. Now, we're going to specifically be looking at the Kira hyperspace version, because that one right now is running around $9. And right now, again, we're talking about keeping your opponent from playing something, right? So with this deck, you have a lot of powerful ships, big ships. If you have a Kira, there's going to be limited ground because everyone's kind of focusing on the air. This is a great way to keep one of those good ships out from your opponent from playing them. So I think it's a very, very good card. It makes everything more expensive. And honestly, if you have this hyperspace version, you can get $9 out of it. Pretty good. If you have the hyperspace foil, you're looking at about $13-14 from it. It's a very good card. And again, as you can see, a lot of the cards are from Shadows of the Galaxy that I think are going to be really good cards that you can have in your trade and binder. Next up, this is actually from Shadows of the Galaxy as well. Let's go ahead, and this is our Quintus Assault Cruiser. This one's actually getting crazy in terms of ramp, right? Think about Piet. This is a capital ship. You play it when on his deploy turn. It's going to cost 2 less, so you can play this for 6 resources. You're going to ambush, and then you're going to effectively kill something, ideally something smaller, so that it stays alive, and it becomes a 2-for-1. You're going to kill your opponent's ship, and then you get to put that defeated unit into play as your resource for you. That's, again, more ramp. And remember, Piet likes to ramp. Any command deck, this set is going to want to run Super Laser Technicians, Resupply, the Resupply Carrier, and now you're looking at this cruiser. Why? Because you're going to ramp. Imagine ramping to those big ships faster with Piet. This is a game changer. And look, this card is $15 right now for the hyperspace. This card market price is $4.70. So this tells me people are going out and grabbing this card right now because we're going to be seeing this card in the meta decks coming up. You're going to see it. And as people are grabbing this card, the price of this card is going to skyrocket. If you're not a command player, you don't plan to be ramping, you're going to put this card in your trade bander as well. Get some value out of it. Get the cards you actually need. Next up, we have Wrecker. Wrecker, I think, is still going to be a very solid card. He's currently running for going for about $4. Again, I actually have 7 Wrecker rares that I'm probably going to end up slotting into my trade binders or selling them so I can fill out with whatever I'm missing from rares or legendaries. And I think Wrecker's still going to be a very good card just because Sabine ECL. Sabine is still very good. I think Wrecker with Sabine is still very good. And then sometimes you're starting to see some decks that are still going pretty much dominating the ground and racing your opponent in the air. And I think Sabine's one of those decks that if you're going to try to race them in the air versus them on the ground, I think Sabine is going to win every day. She's too fast. And I think Wrecker is still going to be a very good card. Lastly, on the Shadows of the Galaxy, we're looking at Tech. Tech's right now is running about $4. I think he's still going to be very solid in the game, especially without the nerf of Han and DJ. Tech is still going to be very powerful. I think he's still going to give you the ability to make all your resources smuggle. So imagine smuggling out some of your big ships at the end, towards the end of the game. That's still very powerful, especially if you got Tech DJ multiple times. You're going to be so far ahead in resources. So I think Tech is the one you want to definitely have. Just for a normal rare, Tech's looking at $4.75. He's actually pretty good. I see Tech staying around $5, but again, around that $5 markers where you want to have these cards ready to go to help trade out. I was going to go into Twilight of the Republic, but there is nothing that I liked in Twilight of the Republic. Personally, I thought Twilight of the Republic was the worst set of the first block. No one really used Core Date except for like 1 or 2 decks, and nobody really used Exploit. It was just a bad mechanic for the type of game they were playing right now. Let me know what you guys think. Are there any rares that you thinking are going to go up in value? Let me know in the comments. And if you disagree with something I said, feel free to let me know. This is just my initial thoughts as I'm looking and sorting my cards. I was like, oh, that card looks like it's going to be good. And I'm noticing, oh, that card is rising. But then I see some other cards dropping. But anyways, go ahead and get those cards into your trade binders. Start filling out what you need for your missing rares and legendaries, and so you can play your favorite deck. Thank you for your time. May the force be with you. Peace.